Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host, Kathryn Mademann, and I am with
JOToole. I'm the Executive Director of the Beaufort County Economic Development Corporation. Today we're at the Lowcountry Fresh Market and Café in Bluffton.
And we are going to be interviewing Cindy and Andy Rolfe, who are the owners, and they just opened up their store 3 weeks ago. There's a lot to talk about, and it's exciting. And John, this is 843 TV.
Where communities come to speak.
.843 TV, where the Lowcountry comes to speak.
.843 TV,
where communities come to speak. And welcome back to 843 TV, and I'm excited to introduce you to Cindy and Andy Rolfe, who are the owners here at the Lowcountry Fresh Market and Cafe. What a great story. I had the opportunity of interviewing you 2 years ago. We were talking about the inception. You know, you came down here to find a new life, and all of a sudden you said, I want to create a market. I want to work with the locals and the produce. So let's start there. Who wants to begin with me, Cindy?
Sure. So when we first started, we were retirees who'd come down here and really wanted to get more connected to the community and help where we could. We had corporate careers and didn't really enjoy being full-time retired. So we approached the Beaufort County Economic Development Council, corporation, and they said what we really need in Beaufort County is to connect north of Broad River to south of Broad River, and to take the incredible agricultural heritage that exists north of the river and connect it to all the people who have moved here because they love the area. So that started us in partnerships with farmers and shrimpers and fishermen, and that's how the store was born.
I love that story. In fact, Andy took me for a quick tour around, and everything is fresh. And when you brought your thoughts together, the inception, what was the vision? And there's more to the story. Andy, why don't you tell me about that? Because there's a lot of moving parts here.
There are a lot of moving parts. So the idea was we wanted to do something that was going to benefit the community. We wanted that to be the next chapter in our lives. And so when we met these farmers who were having a hard time, they didn't have a conduit to the market. And so when we met with them, we said, well, what if we became that conduit to the market, where we would open a market? And originally we were talking about produce, and then it expanded to seafood, and then it expanded to meat and baked items, as you said, and wine and cheese and bakery and all kinds of stuff. We have a cafe, and so it started with a little kernel, really, with the local farmers, and we learned that there were a lot more people that we could support and work with and get the benefit of bringing their products that are terrific products to the community here.
So how long have you been open now?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. It's a beautiful shopping experience as well. They have the meat counters and the cheese are just super great. The bakery, which is baked daily, I mean, there's everything there. We just talked about the breads. I mean, the artisan breads. We have ciabatta. We have the sourdough bread that we love so much, and the produce. I mean, I even went over and I picked up some produce that are just local. Tell me about how local these are. You told me these heirlooms came from where?
Right, we have heirloom tomatoes right now from 2 different farms. One is in Bluffton, right down the street, Cahill's Farm, which also has a market, but it helps them to be able to sell in a larger, high traffic area as well. And from Branch Family Farms up in Varnville, South Carolina.
These are so cute. These are little...
little red plums. In South Carolina, we're used to peaches, but they're wonderful sweet red plums that come from up near Aiken. So this is from a farm up near Aiken, South Carolina. And then
lots of berries are here, which we all love.
It's the soft, yummy fruit season right now. So these are Coosaw Farms blackberries, and Coosaw, the family up there, the O'Neills, they have blackberries, they have fabulous watermelons, and we have all of them in store, and blueberries.
And they're beautiful as well. So let me ask you this, because the bakery, I mean, Andy, we're talking around, you have a premier baker here as well.
We do.
Tell us about that, because people really want to find some great food, you know?
Well, we were fortunate early on to hire a culinary director, BJ Dennis, who's super well known in the culinary community. And as soon as he came on, we got lots of requests of people that wanted to join and have a chance to work with BJ and the rest of what we were doing here. And our lead baker came from Washington, D.C., where he was working in a Michelin star rated restaurant. and his name was Dwayne Copeland. And Dwayne he was interested in moving back to South Carolina. His family was originally from here. And it was a chance for him to do his own thing and really take the lead and shape our bakery, so to speak. And he's done a phenomenal job. We get tons of great comments about the baked products, both the savory and the sweet.
And the bagels.
And the bagels.
And the bagels, yeah, the good, authentic bagels. So as you've sort of put your menus together, what has been like the biggest surprise people have asked from you? Now that you've been 3 weeks, people are maybe asking something that you haven't thought about.
I don't know about I mean, I guess I've been pleasantly surprised, or maybe not, I shouldn't have been surprised, but the feedback we get about the caliber of the food has been really good. People really, really enjoy the flavors and the taste. The group that they've built in the kitchen is really awesome. WHHI-TV is our head chef working with BJ, and his ability to put spices and other flavors together to create a flavor that, you know, is really, it's hard to imagine how good something can taste of things that you've eaten your whole life, but you know, put together in a different manner.
I think that's probably one of the, you know, you're both very smart people, and you thought, what can I do differently and bring something special to the community? And it was a well thought out and executed, you know, to do that. So
well,
I
we're
think
still
that
learning.
You're still learning as well. But I also want to share with you, when you do stop by, they have open kitchens, so you can see the bakery, you can see them creating the food, and I think that's just fun with families. Bring the kids over and show them this is how these things are made. I mean, I think that's a great idea and a great concept. You know, and the other thing you have going on is the cafe. And I just took a walk there. People were having a muffin and a coffee, and your coffee of lattes, coffees, specialties. I mean, it's all really good quality food. What can we tell the people that's a little bit different about your coffees? Are they local or are they brought in?
Yeah, I think 2 things really that make a big difference in what it means when you come here and have breakfast, or even just grab a coffee. So all the coffees are local. We work with King Bean Roaster up in Charleston, South Carolina. They've been roasting for decades. They have very high attention to detail. We have multiple coffees on the shelf. We work with The Grind, who's right in Bluffton. We work with Methodical, who's up in Greenville. We work with Lowcountry Coffee up in Wandu. Am I missing anybody?
No.
But King Bean is our main coffee that we're pouring in the morning. And we have all the same fancy things that they have at any other barista bar. But what really sets it apart are the people. We know a lot of our regulars already on a first name basis. We know what their favorite drink is. We know where they're from. And so the service and getting to know the community that's inside these 4 walls makes a big difference.
Absolutely. So we have to take a break. And we'll be right back with more WHHI-TV. We'll find out more with Cindy and Andy.